Okay guys, rain, sleet, or snow, I'm back with another crypto video. This first story here is from Blockworks and it reads, Amazon NFT initiative coming soon. The world's largest retailer has been hovering at the edges of Web3 tech for some time. Amazon is launching a digital assets enterprise, according to 4 sources familiar with the matter, who said that an NFT initiative is expected in the spring. Amazon has been shopping the digital collectibles effort to no shortage of power players in the industry, per multiple sources. Said to be among those entities are Layer 1 blockchains, blockchain-based gaming startups, and developers in digital asset exchanges. There's a focus on blockchain-based gaming and related NFT applications, 2 sources said. One example in the works per one source, getting Amazon customers to play crypto games and claim free NFTs in the process. The effort is still developing, sources said. April appears to have penciled in for the e-commerce giant to make its bold crypto ambitions public. Amazon's quote-unquote coming into the space is a big one for crypto for many reasons, one source said. We knew it was possible, the source said, but now it seems it's really happening. That's going to affect the existing players in the space if they execute it and do this right and are smart about it. Amazon executives leading the push reached out to at least one family office in recent months, one of the sources said. At the time, the plan in its earlier iteration was to do at least one NFT drop with an artist, the same source said. Amazon's Web3 blueprint appears to have significantly evolved since. It wasn't immediately clear who in terms of personnel is leading Amazon's NFT initiative, but details about the platform, which would include certain NFT gaming initiatives, are still unfolding. But 2 sources said the platform is set to run out of Amazon proper rather than its web hosting platform, Amazon Web Services. An additional 5th source said Amazon has been exploring a number of other Web3 initiatives as of late. When it comes to both the platform and Amazon's additional crypto forays, a number of internal hires would likely be a prerequisite for one source has stated. While Amazon Web Services has posted occasional roles for developers and engineers in the Web3 realm, the e-commerce site is not as well known for exploring the crypto or blockchain arenas. An Amazon Coins program continues to exist, following an introduction in 2013, but it's more akin to a straightforward loyalty program than a crypto initiative. Andy Jassy, the CEO of Amazon, has previously stated that he is open to the company selling NFTs and that the company is not closing the door on cryptocurrencies generally. Also an open question, the full extent of Amazon's Web3 ambitions and end goals. Whether the company intends to compete with the likes of OpenSea and Rarible isn't exactly clear, but 2 sources said both entities would view a successful launch as a substantial threat. With the number of customers Amazon has, they could make a huge splash in the NFT marketplace, one source said. Over 2.5 million users so far have interacted with OpenSea, the leading NFT marketplace today by trading volume, according to data from Dune Analytics. There are now multiple well-established places to buy and sell NFTs. AWS recently inked a partnership with Ava Labs, the company behind the Avalanche blockchain, which Emin Gun Sayer of Ava Labs described as a huge boon for both individual and enterprise developers to be able to spin up nodes and test networks on the fly with AWS in whatever legal jurisdiction makes the most sense for them. A representative for Amazon did not immediately have a comment. So that's definitely big news, because again, anytime you see giants like Amazon, like regardless of how people might feel about Amazon, when you see them trying to throw their hat into the ring, like as investors, as spectators, as people who are just interested in it, like, we definitely gotta focus on positioning ourselves in any way, not in any way possible, but in as many ways possible to benefit from this and to profit from this before the Amazons and Googles of the world like fully jump in and get established in that realm. Because again, typically by the time those companies go all in, by then it'll usually be once there's been some sort of regulatory clarity, there's been some sort of backroom deals done that's going to give them an advantage. Usually by the time they go all in publicly, it'll be too late for the average person. And I do think that even though it doesn't have anything to do with the Ripple SEC lawsuit, I do think that them choosing to wait till this spring may be because they're expecting some sort of clarity to come in by then, just because of the fact that with that Ripple SEC lawsuit, it's done briefing, and many people like Jeremy Hogan and others are projecting that the case with Ripple and the SEC, if it goes to a decision, the decision should be put out by about somewhere between the spring or early summer. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what comes from that. If they get into NFTs, it's gonna just completely explode, because they already have it feels like 1 billion people already use their website anyway. Next story I want to get into here reads: California pilots blockchain car title management company system on Tezos Fork. The Department of Motor Vehicles in California collaborates with Tezos and Oxhead Alpha. A government agency is the most populous in the most populous U.S. state, California, is testing blockchain technology using a private fork of Tezos to execute some of its record keeping, including the issuance of car ownership and simplifying transfers of such ownership. The California DMV is expected to develop customer-facing applications such as digital wallets and car title NFTs later this year, according to Asia Gupta, the agency's chief digital transformation officer. The state opted to team up with Tezos and crypto software provider Oxhead Alpha to embrace California's roadmap to explore crypto adoption. According to an Oxhead statement, Oxhead Alpha has built a set of smart contracts on a version of Tezos, but not the public permissionless chain, to test e-titles, enabling electronic exchange of title information in a move that could lessen processing time for documentation. California had over 30 million registered vehicles as of 2020. Gupta told Fortune that he hopes the plans to materialize the title database on blockchain come to fruition in the next 3 months. This collaboration comes after California Governor Gavin Newsom last year signed an executive order directing state agencies to discern ways in which they can employ blockchain technology and digital assets. The use of blockchain-based project has evolved in use cases, pushing developers to build out more decentralized application. Several governments and business entities have been pursuing its adoption in sectors including capital markets, healthcare, insurance, and digital identities. The pilot is the latest example of the attempts to find technology solutions that benefit enterprises looking for smoother compliance and efficiency in their business operations. In another instance, a Cleveland-based startup called Champ Titles, looking to overhaul the car title and registration systems using blockchain, raised nearly $13 million in a Series B funding round in September. California has also listed its Department of Food and Agriculture for pioneering a similar project to track foodborne contamination through the collection and organization of data from parties involved like growers and transporters, and proposed moving the state's archive on a similar ledger. The DMV specific project itself is up and running with validator nodes, but it is yet to cover broader services like title transfers between states. This is a good example, even though I'm not a fan of the state of California, and I'm definitely not a fan of Gavin Newsom, and I'm definitely not a fan of the DMV. This still is a very, very, very good example of what could be the full potential of NFTs. Because so often when people talk about NFTs, and especially when you talk to like regular like normies about it, the only thing they think of is like pictures of like monkeys. Like that's literally all they think an NFT is. Like, and it's like this right here is the actual potential of the type of things you could do with NFTs. You could put, like, I said this months ago. A lot of people pointed this out. You could make a car title NFTs. You can make a passport in NFT. You can make your birth certificate in NFT, a deed to a house. What else? You can make contract. You can make a bunch of different things. You can mint it as an NFT. Like, I definitely think that like the potential is massive, and I would hope that this would help speed up the process for anything related to the DMV, because again, the DMV is very, very slow. It doesn't even matter what state it's in. I'm not really sure what California's real goal is here, because if I'm not mistaken, I could have sworn I read a story the other day saying Gavin Newsom in California were trying to ban gas cars and we're trying to go all electric, even though they're not realizing just how difficult that would be to that, and how harshly that could affect their state. But I mean, it is what it is. That's a topic for another day. The last story I want to get into here, it's a story from Decrypt, and it reads: White House blames Congress for failure to enact crypto regulations. 4 senior Biden officials penned a note Friday urging lawmakers to hasten their efforts to create a regulatory framework for crypto. The White House pointed the finger because this is their favorite thing to do in the government, is to point the finger to somebody else for why nobody wants to do their job. But to continue on, the White House pointed the finger at Congress Friday for stalling on a comprehensive national crypto regulatory framework, outlining numerous actions lawmakers could take to rein in fraud and bad actors in the crypto sector. Congress, quote, needs to step up its effort, for President Biden's senior advisors wrote in a White House blog post on crypto policy published on Friday morning. The post goes on to highlight a number of moves Congress could make to immediately to purportedly enhance consumer protection standards in the crypto space. Those moves include the powers of federal regulatory agencies like the SEC and the CFTC, strengthening transparency and disclosure requirements for crypto companies, aiding law enforcement by increasing funding, strengthening penalties for existing finance rules, and enhancing those rules to penalize intermediaries, and passing legislations to regulate stablecoins, as outlined in a recent Treasury Department report. Biden's advisors went out to caution in Friday's note that the recently sworn-in Republican House of Representatives could also make matters worse by loosening regulations at such crossroads. Congress could also make our job harder and worsen risk to investors and to the financial system, the advisor wrote. It would be a grave mistake to enact legislation that reverses course and deepens the ties between cryptocurrencies and the broader financial system. The warning appears to be an allusion to the Subcommittee on Digital Assets, Financial Technology and Inclusion recently announced by the House Republican leadership. The committee's chair, Representative French Hill, has stated he aims to promote responsible innovation in the cryptocurrency and fintech sectors. While the White House was quick to put blame on crypto-related inaction on Republicans, Biden hasn't exactly made it a priority either in his 2-year period from 2021 to just 2 weeks ago, in which Democrats controlled the presidency, the House, and the Senate. During that period, several controversies rocked the crypto industry, including the collapse of Terra Luna last May, Terra Luna /UST last May, the implosion a $32 billion crypto exchange, FTX, in November. And I'm just gonna add also, Celsius, Voyager, like all these other things we've seen go down. But again, these people claim that they're worried about protecting us. All these people are frauds. All these people are like, you can't take any of these people seriously. But to continue on, multiple cryptocurrency bills are floating around Washington, though none of them have been voted on yet. The Stablecoin Trust Act, which would establish a federal regulatory framework for payment stablecoins, was introduced in the Senate in December. The Loomis Gillibrand Responsible for Financial Innovation Act, which would give crypto regulatory power to the CFTC, has been kicking around the Senate since last June. But these people are claiming that they're in some sort of rush to protect investors. But continuing on, the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act, introduced in August, would similarly limit the SEC's ability to regulate the crypto industry. Seen as a boon for crypto exchanges, the bill was a pet political project of disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried, who spent tens of millions of dollars on political donations and ample time in Washington in the months surrounding the bill's announcement. Bankman-Fried donated $5 million to an organization that funded the blitz of pro-Biden ads in the run-up to the 2020 presidential election. The White House has repeatedly declined to comment on the matter. While the DCCPA did gain bipartisan momentum among lawmakers in the fall, the bill's association with Bankman-Fried, who's currently awaiting 8 criminal charges, including fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering, has potentially derailed its path to adoption. So, just to summarize what I just read, these irresponsible, incompetent people are just continuing to point the finger and play the blame game and gaslight regular people into thinking that they actually are concerned about protecting them. But yeah, that's all the news I got to cover really today. Let me know what your thoughts are. Like, do you think Amazon rolling out NFTs would be a big deal? And also, like, besides card titles, what else could you see in the future becoming minted as an NFT?